Hey guys, I'm not sure what this channel's name is gonna be yet, so I'll just say hey. My name is Ben. I'm just a huge sports fan, and I really want to start getting my takes out there. I feel like my takes, I wouldn't say matter, but I feel like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to something I'm interested in. And today, I just wanted to give some initial thoughts on my soccer football team, Arsenal season. I've been kind of waiting to let it, kind of marinate a little bit. I've also been busy with some other stuff, so I haven't really found the time to, I guess, start to talk about this. But man, I just don't even know where to start. I guess it's for some context for people that even are potentially watching this. This is my second year watching soccer in general. I'm from the U.S., so as you know, it's definitely growing in popularity, but it's not really there yet. But I've really started watching. I started watching, I'd say, maybe like halfway through the season last year, about January, a little bit of December. I watched a little bit before that as well, but that's when I started following Arsenal. And then this was the year that I was fully in. I watched the whole season from start to finish, barely missed a game. And it was a really good season. I really thought they were, I don't know, I thought they could potentially do it going into the Champions League. They didn't end up getting that done, but that's okay. They're a young squad. I didn't expect them to necessarily be, favorites and to actually go far, but I thought they could do it. I mean, they made it to the last eight, so I was proud. I sadly couldn't watch the second leg against Bayern Munich in Munich. I couldn't watch it. I had class that day, but I've seen the highlights back, and it was definitely disappointing not getting that result for the team. I thought that was a winnable two legs as well. I mean, the one I saw more of was the first leg, and it really was just those costly mistakes in the beginning. I felt like at times Arsenal looked a little, unrattled almost. Saka scored, and then we were good, and then it just like stopped. I don't know what happened, but we started getting killed on the wing. Kiwior was getting killed by Sane. It was tough to watch. It really was tough. And then Kane, well, they scored, and then Kane had that penalty. We battled back, but I just think it showed that though this is a very promising team, and Mikel Arteta is extremely successful, they're still not there yet. And that was, again, this is their first time being in the Champions League in years. I didn't expect them to, again, I didn't expect them to win, but I did think they could beat Bayern, especially this Bayern team. This is one of the worst Bayern teams in years. Specifically at that time, their form was bad. It was really bad. So it was a little disappointing, I would say, that they didn't get to beat Bayern, but can I say I'm shocked? No. This team just doesn't have as much experience as, one of the biggest juggernauts in Europe, and it makes sense why they didn't do it. So this part's more about the Premier League. This is where it really killed me. It was just such an interesting season. They started off really well. Well, not really well, but they started off well. But they had their hiccups. They had the game where they drew a Fulham, and then they were still kind of trying to find their form. Kai was kind of trying to be figured out in this new system. It wasn't really looking like that was working till obviously later. But they were trying to figure stuff out, especially that bad stretch in December where they lost at Fulham in the West Ham game. I mean, that was really bad. It was really, really bad. I know they had the Newcastle loss in there, but those are the ones that are going to haunt you. And then, of course, later in the season, Aston Villa. But the second they went on that Dubai trip and they started going out to, I guess, they went out to Dubai, and then they just started coming back after that. It was just fantastic. I mean, I have not seen anything like that in a while. Again, I'm referring to this more as just sports as a whole. I've only been watching soccer for 2 years. But that little stint they went on for a bit, I mean, especially it was like February, March, a little bit early April. I mean, they were just on a tear. They went into West Ham. They put 6 in there. Burnley, I think it was Sheffield or Luton. They killed them. I mean, they killed Chelsea at the end of the season, the 5-0. That was fantastic. Beating Spurs late was nice. There was just a lot. I don't know. It was such a good season. and the team really, really, they just were so fun to watch, and it sucks that they didn't get to win. I know they're, I don't know. I don't know if you can make the argument that they're better than Manchester City. Aside of all, the 115 charges, the insane payroll they have. Obviously, Arsenal has a payroll, but we can't really compare it to oil money. But when you look at the squad, yeah, I would give it to Manchester City, and I would still, obviously, I'd say Pep is a better manager than Arteta. But when you really look at these teams, I mean, they're very close. I think Arsenal need to be a little bit more clinical in the front three. I think we need someone maybe on the wing that could help Saka out when he gets a little dead, if you want to call it, where it's not even necessarily becomes dead. He's just like, I don't know, there are certain times where I love Saka. I love this guy. He's probably my favorite player on the team. But there are times where he just is ineffective, it feels like sometimes. And it's okay. It's okay. You're not going to have your stuff every day, but I don't feel like they have a winger they can really go to when Saka's not doing well. Because usually I like what Arteta does where, okay, Martinelli's not playing good, we'll sub with Trossard, or we'll start Trossard. And I don't know. I guess you could put Jesus in sometimes like they do, but I feel like another winger that could be a guy that we can get in there just in case Saka's having a bad day or Saka needs a break. This kid's playing so much soccer, it's insane. So I would really like them to consider that in the summer, but maybe I'll make a video on that later, another day. But this is kind of just recapping my thoughts. I'm definitely not as upset anymore, though, I would say, as I was initially. It's not that I was upset. I was just like, damn, like, Foden scored like a minute in that West Ham game, and I was just like, yeah, we're not winning the league. Like, I didn't think we were, but there was still some hope, and that hope was killed pretty early on. So it was definitely a tough blow, but I'm extremely proud of this club. I really think they're going to continue to be better. They already have set an insane standard, I guess, for where they're at, but I think they can only get better. They're such a young team. They have a bunch of vets that I like. They got, Rice is a guy that's been through it now. He's got his year done. They just got Jorginho back on another contract. I like that a lot. And I just think they can be a team that's going to compete in the Prem, because let's be honest, once City is out of here, we got to see what happens, of course, in the next couple of years, the next couple of transfer windows. But who's running the Prem? I think it's like a transitional period right now where Liverpool's getting a new manager. Chelsea, I don't really know what they're doing. They just sacked Poch. United just announced that they're going to get rid of Ten Hag, even if he doesn't win the FA Cup game, which is a little, I don't know. I would have considered giving him maybe one more year, though. They have looked really, really, really bad. But like, who's here? Like, I'm not saying Pep is going to leave, but if he does, or City's convicted and they get sent down or whatever happens, I don't know. I'm just going off of what I've heard. But who's running the Prem? I mean, they got a bunch of guys, like I said. I'll go through it real quick. Saka, I love this guy. Odegaard, the captain, fantastic. Rice, in the midfield, he's fantastic. Martinelli, I hope he gets back into form. Trossard, though Martinelli, I will say he didn't look too bad the last game. I feel like he's taking a slight dip from the 2022-2023 campaign. He was, in my opinion, more effective. But back to the team, yeah, like I said, you have Rice in that midfield. And in the back four, you got, in my opinion, I don't know. I'd probably take these guys up against anyone, honestly. It's the best center back pair in the world. Like, Saliba and Gabriel, man. Like, hey guys, sorry, my video cut out earlier. I don't know what happened, but we're going to figure it out. We'll be good. I was talking about the back four before this stuff got cut out. I wanted to just rave about, in my opinion, arguably the best center back pair in the entire world. You got Saliba, you got Gabriel. I would say Saliba was he's still the better player now. But I really love what Gabriel brings to the table. This guy is fierce. This guy is a competitor. I'm not saying Saliba isn't, but this guy does not care. This guy will get in your face. He's going to punk you out. He punked out Haaland twice. He'll get in your face, and he doesn't care. And you need a guy like that on the team. You need a guy that's not afraid to back down from the opposition. You need a guy that's, like, again, going to get in your face And he's not scared because I think that mentality travels throughout the entire team. When you see a guy laying his body on the line every week, putting up the stuff that he does, helping with the clean sheets like they did, him and Saliba, I just think that stuff travels through the entire squad. So I got nothing but love for those two. I think those two, I'll take them up against a lot of guys. But yeah, they were fantastic. Kiwior, I thought he showed some flashes this year as a solid guy that can come off the bench, maybe even start occasionally. I will say, though, I touched on this earlier, that Bayern game, he was literally, like he just got played with. That was really hard to watch. So that was a little discouraging, I won't lie, and I feel like he didn't really have as many minutes after that. I think it kind of scared Arteta a little bit, which I don't blame him. But I thought Kiwior showed some promise, specifically even in his offensive game a little bit too. I remember he had a really good offensive game against Newcastle at home. I think it was the 4-0 game. So I think he has got some potential. Zinchenko, I don't know. I like what Zin does offensively. I think he's a great passer. I think he sets a lot of stuff up. But I cannot watch that guy play left back anymore. I can't watch him do it. He just cannot defend. He can't. I think if Arteta maybe moved him, maybe even in the midfield, I don't know what they want to do, maybe a little bit higher up, like at the 8. I don't know. There's just, I like Zin. He's just so bad defensively that it's like you almost have to pretty much adjust the entire defensive scheme just to help this guy out. And I don't want that guy on the pitch if it's going to fuck with everything else. Because this was the best defense in Europe. Let's not forget. So I don't want to mess that up. Let's transition into the right side. Ben White. I mean, what can you say about this guy? Kind of similar to Gabriel. He'll get in your face. He doesn't care. And I really like that mentality. This guy, I thought he took another level to his game. The passing was unbelievable this year. Just setting stuff up, setting Saka up, constantly feeding him on that right side. I thought it was just fantastic. Even the goal scoring, the 2 goals he had against Chelsea, come on, man. What can this guy not do? I don't know. He was arguably one of Arsenal's best players in that second half of the season, really after the Dubai trip. So all credit to Ben White. He was phenomenal. And then, oh my gosh, am I blanking on anyone? Not really, actually. Oh, the goalie. That's where I was going. I was thinking of other fullbacks. Goalie. That was a weird situation this year. You had Ramsdale, and then I'll say this. I was pro Ramsdale heading into the season. I really was. He won me over last year with that game against Liverpool. Again, I have not watched her as much as you guys, but that game, he won me over. That save he had, I forget who was on. I'd have to look back. It was phenomenal. I thought he was a good guy. But his problem was, as we saw in the Southampton game last year, he just does dumb shit sometimes. And it ends up just killing our team. Or we're down 1-0 2 minutes into the game. I'm like, okay. So, obviously, I got to give credit to Arteta. He saw that before all of us did. And he got Raya on loan. I wasn't the biggest Raya guy to start. But, man, is this guy good. I think what people don't see with Raya is that he's not the guy that's keeping Arsenal in so many games, so he did that. But I feel like the way Raya is able to, I guess, almost position the ball. He knows where to play the ball, how to help push, even his ability to push it downfield, get it down to one of the wings or in the midfield, and bam, we're already on their side of the pitch. I just think this is something that he's so good at in his ball placement that it's really helped Arsenal be better both offensively and defensively. Does he do certain things that make me scratch my head, like literally right now? Yeah, like the Bayern game. I remember he had an interesting mistake. I think it was that first goal. He had a weird one against Spurs. He's done occasional things where I'm like, all right. But overall, I trust him over Ramsdale, and I would love to see him come back in the summer. But yeah, that's my thoughts overall on the season. I guess I could do one more thing. Arteta, man. This guy. I have never had this much trust in any of my personal teams, like managers. I don't know if I ever have. I've seen one of my teams win a championship in 17. I don't think I had this much faith that I have in Arteta right now as I did in Doug. This is just another level. This guy, I feel like, almost makes every decision, or makes every correct decision. This guy is just, I don't know, he's phenomenal. I will say, he does occasionally overthink, like the Villa game. That shit bit us in the ass. I don't remember what he did, but he played guys out of position. I think he tried playing Havertz in the midfield again, or not in the striker position. I was just like, come on, bro. Like, what the fuck are we doing? This is not the time to be doing this. And that game costed us. But overall, I have a lot of trust in Arteta, man. I'm trying to see what he does in the transfer window this year. I think he's gonna really be able to get after, hopefully. Oh, I know he's gonna be able to get after it. But I'm just really excited to see him to continue to grow, because I really felt like we're really seeing what he wants as Arsenal. Like his vision of the team. Just how good they were defensively this year. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Oh, even the set pieces. Again, I know that's not him. It's the guy that's on the staff, but it's still technically his club. The set pieces were phenomenal this year. I'm so glad I actually remembered to talk about that. That was phenomenal. The headers, constantly getting scoring from Kai, Gabriel, and Declan. Declan was doing better on the kicks to get to the ball up there, on the corners. I don't know why I'm saying kicks. I don't know what I'm saying. Corner. It's a corner kick. I just thought they were killer in there, and that all comes back to Arteta, because that is him. He's the one instituting all of this. He's the one that hired these guys. He's the guy that made these signings. Timber, he looked good in these, like that last game, and slightly, I guess, in those first 25 minutes in that first game. I forget who that was against. Maybe Southampton, but regardless, I'm just I have trust in Arteta, man. I got trust in him. I'm excited to see what he does this summer. I think this guy is the right guy for Arsenal. I'm just so glad I'm not a United fan, a Chelsea fan, a team that doesn't understand how to keep a manager for more than 2 years. That's just not my style. I need a guy, if we're going to give a guy a project, we're going to give him time. And that's what I'm glad my club is doing that, and I'm glad my club saw the vision. They saw this with Arteta. So I'm really excited just for next year. Like I said, I think I'm probably going to make a video about potential guys I want to get in the summer, or just would like to see them get in the summer, even positions that they could address. But yeah, this is my first video, I guess, with this style, or just first video in general. But this is more of just kind of like a rant, me just talking. I just love sports, and this is what I love to enjoy, and I'm just so passionate about it. I'd love to build a community online and just be able to talk to you guys about sports, because I don't know, I just will never get tired of talking about it. So yeah, man, that's my video, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you like the content, you can sub. If you like the video, like. If you don't, it's okay. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next time.